Welcome everyone to our Congenital Heart Surgery Database User Group call for today, Tuesday, October the 6th. On the call today, excuse me, on the call today from STS, we have myself, Leanne Jones, we've got Carol Crum, we've got Donna McDonald, and then we also have our IQVIA team members on the call today. We have Jeanette, Jean, Joe, Melanie, and Rhonda. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today. Just to touch on the agenda real quick, I'll give our STS updates, then I'll turn things over to our IQVIA colleagues for their updates, and then we'll finish up today's user group call with our Q&A. And of course, please be sure to include your ticket number and case number if you've already submitted your questions to support. All right, for our STS updates, as you all are aware, our 2020 harvest update, the submission deadline, which was originally scheduled for Friday, October the 16th, has been extended. At this time, we do not have a harvest close date yet, but as soon as we do have that information, that will be sent out to everyone. And please know, that we will give you all ample time to get your harvest cleaned up and submitted. Just an FYI, the email notification regarding the harvest extension was sent out to everyone on Tuesday, 9/29. So please check to make sure you did receive that communication. If you did not receive that communication, please feel free to follow up with me directly. You can email me, and I'm happy to assist in any way. New reports that we have available and coming soon. IQVIA will be touching on this information here a little bit later in the presentation. You all are aware we have the mortality eligibility summary that is now available, and the primary procedure mismatch report, again, is coming soon, and Melanie and her team will have more information regarding these reports coming up here in just a few minutes. Our CHSD upgrade, we are in the beginning stages of the next upgrade. As you're aware, the congenital data specs data version is upgraded once every 3 years, and it is that time for us. Again, we are in the beginning stages of the upgrade. We had our very first call last night, actually, with the task force members, so that is in progress. If you have any suggestions for the upgrade or things you'd like to see, change, things you would think need to be added, removed, just any suggestions at all, please feel free to email them to me directly. And again, my email address is there on the screen for your information. And also just a reminder that our CHSD new data version is scheduled to go live January 2022. Also, for our AQO wrap-up, we just wanted to thank everyone that attended AQO last week. It was our highest attended AQO ever. Minus speakers, we had around just over 800 attendees. So that's absolutely amazing. So thank you to everyone that did join us for AQO this year. We do look forward to seeing you all, hopefully, fingers crossed, in Denver live and in person next year. Just a reminder that recordings from the live session will be available within the AQO platform by the end of this week. And also all AQO sessions, the live recording, as well as the on-demand content will be available within the platform for an entire year. Even though that content will be available for an entire year, literally up until next year's AQO, your continuing education credit must be claimed by December 31st of this year. So again, even though all the materials will be online for another year, your continuing education credit must be claimed by December 31st of this year. So just keep that in mind. And again, thank you to everyone that did join us for AQO. We hope you enjoyed it. It was great. So we were just very proud of how everything turned out, and we hope you enjoyed AQO as much as we did this year. With that, I'm going to turn things over to our IQVIA colleagues for our IQVIA update. Joe?
Great, thank you. So let's go ahead and dive in. We have a few enhancements coming this weekend on the 10th for the harvest summary report. So the STS 3662 and STS 3122, we're adding the total number of cases as well as the surgery date range to be displayed at the top of the harvest summary report when you run that, so that information is always available. And you can see a screenshot there of where that information will appear on the report so that you have an idea of what to expect. And again, that is going into effect this weekend on the 10th, and so should be there for you starting when you come back on Monday. Next slide, we have some additional bug fixes going in for the missing variable report that will also go in over the weekend. STS 3560, the surgeon name is not displaying, sorry, the surgeon name is showing up as missing, even though the information is displayed in the on the case form. So a fix for that is coming this weekend. STS 3565, CPBTM, and a few other elements have been identified as not appearing on the missing variable report when they are missing. And so that update will ensure that those appear when they should. STS 3407, the MVR is showing that valve explant model numbers for the fourth explant is missing when there was not a fourth explant performed per the parent field. So that should be resolved. The next couple, STS 3609 and STS 3225, both regarding the autologous transfusion data element showing up as missing when it is present on the form. This has to do with version 3.3 records, and so updates are being made so that the report follows the appropriate logic. And then the last one here, STS 3587, the transfusion of blood products after 24 hours post-procedure variable is showing up in the missing variable report when the question was actually already answered in the user's vendor system. And so that one should be fixed over the weekend as well. And there's a final note there, if you have submitted any tickets that are not listed here, please rest assured that they are under review, and the IQVIA support team will follow up with you regarding resolution and target release confirmation. So if you do need any updates on any tickets, feel free to respond to your tickets, and we'll get a notification and let you know what the status is. Okay, and that should do it for me. So I'll turn things over to Melanie.
Great. Thank you so much, Joe. Mel, you're up.
I'm up. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So let's talk about the new reports that are, well, we have current reports and a new report that's coming. So currently we have the case eligibility for inclusion in a mortality analysis that is currently available. We have been, of course, been getting feedback in regards to that and have been reviewing items with sites with, of course, their questions and inquiries around that. Next up is the primary procedure mismatch report. As of today, actually, the beta testers were notified that the UAT environment, where they will be conducting their review, will be reopening this afternoon. So that information was sent out. So for those that are currently one of those identified reviewers, STS had sent out a communication indicating that we will be reopening, and so the review for that report will happen, and that report, of course, will contain your actual data set, so you'll be able to do that real-time review. Next is going to be, of course, another future report, the risk-adjusted dashboard. So that, of course, will be available once we are able to close the harvest. The information is then sent to DCRI for analysis. They will then turn that back around to IQVIA, and we will be surfacing that information in a new report via the platform. So that is upcoming also. Next slide. So just a little bit more details in regards to primary procedure. It is definitely underway. We will be, again, reopening the feedback environment, and with this set of beta testers that we've been working with, the feedback is usually really quick. So once that's open, we know that we will be getting that quick feedback from that group. And then the report, of course, will allow them to do the immediate comparison for those cases that have been identified as mismatched. And that's going to allow them to see the procedure code, the actual procedure name. They'll have a way to navigate to the case to review the case information. And then, of course, identifiers to allow them to match back to their software vendor system. So that record ID and also patient ID. So more once we start getting that feedback. Next slide. So I know that we've, for those that were on a previous call, we did review the harvest checklist. There has been updates made, so we just wanted to make sure that we covered this again, and also just make sure that we point out the updates that were made, and also the posting that's available within the library will also be updated with this information. So I'll call it out once I get to that slide. But usually the general questions that we receive is just give an actual process of how do we do the cleanup? Like, what are the reports that we should review? What are those steps that we should take? So this should give you that high level, just those steps that you can take while doing your data quality feedback. So first thing you would do, of course, is upload your actual files. So that's been happening, uploading has been occurring. And once that's done, for each submission, you do receive the data quality report. And that data quality report is just for that submission time frame. So we do have another report that will give you a holistic view, so I'll get to that in a moment. But when you're doing your initial upload or subsequent uploads, you'll have an actual submission card. And on that card, basically it's going to capture the information of when the upload was done, who did it, who did the actual upload, the assigned upload ID, and then they will be immediate icons that will just let you know if there were any critical errors encountered, any errors or warnings, and then of course the actual link to get to the data quality report. So the main thing that you really want to focus on, of course, is reviewing those critical errors. So if you immediately see that you receive a circle, it's a red circle with a white X in it, that will basically indicate that records have been identified with some type of critical error. Again, critical errors will prevent those files from saving to the data warehouse. So you want to make sure that you take a look at the report to determine why is it being flagged. Many times we've seen that they're related to potential invalid entries that were submitted, or maybe a missing entry that is required, such as a primary diagnosis or primary procedure. So really pay attention to those and get those addressed. The next thing that you're able to review, or next report that you're able to review, is the actual critical summary. So if we go back one, thanks, Leanne. The critical summary report is available within the same data quality report. It's just a separate tab. And so that separate tab will allow you to review submission specific information by your submission date. And so it's going to let you know how many records were included in your submission. What was the range that was included in that submission, the first surgery date and the last surgery date. So take a look at the critical summary, and that's where you basically can see that raw data information in regards to what was included in that file and total number of successful, failed. That's the area where you could immediately review all of that information in this centralized report. Okay, and this report you would enter in the submission date range. It does not work off of the surgical date range. Okay, so the submission date range, so when you started uploading files, that's the date that this report in particular is looking for you to enter. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The next report is the harvest summary report, and the harvest summary report is that holistic report where you're able to review all of your validation messages, which are your error messages and your warnings. And you, at this point for this report, it does look at your surgical dates. So here you would enter in the surgical date range that you would like to review, and that will give you all of the related errors and warnings in that single report, and you're able to go ahead and see what those errors are rather than having to go into each submission that was done, which again, the data quality report is by submission. Next report that you would review is the missing variable report. And here, again, you would enter in a surgery date range. You would review those variables that have been identified as missing. And at that point, once you've reviewed those records, you can export that information and you could do a comparison in your software vendor system, make those updates. And once you've done those updates, go ahead and export that and then re-upload to the IQVIA platform so the information can then be supplied and updated within the platform. Okay, and the next slide is where we do have the updates. So let's go ahead and go to that one. And here is basically the latest reports that we, well, one that has been released and another one that's on the way. So the first one is the case analysis for mortality inclusion report. And this does run off of the surgical date range. There's a predefined drop down that you would just select. And here is where you would be able to review by surgery year the actual cases that have been flagged as being ineligible. And so on the report, it does identify the specific fields that it's looking for related to mortality. And so if there are any of those identified fields that are missing, it will identify those cases and it will let you know the actual fields that are missing. And then the upcoming report is the primary procedure mismatch. And again, it's driven by the surgical date range. The good thing with this report, you will be able to access both in one single point of entry. So once you select that surgical date range, and once that additional report is available, you'll see both tabs available to navigate to either report. It'll be in one area rather than having to navigate to a separate report. Okay, so once you enter in that predefined surgical date range, you are able to review the cases that have been identified with having a mismatch for that primary procedure. And so it's going to show you what's been selected in the case form and then what is recommended by the rules in regards to whether or not it's the highest stat score based on that list, or again, based on the inclusion rules related to those specific procedures. So you'll be able to see that comparison. But always know, and we do have this in the report, that again, with the primary procedure that's selected, anything that's selected within your software system, if you do this again, it's going to show you that comparison. But there could be a potential in which once it goes to DCRI for analysis, ultimately they make that assignment. But again, we're using the same algorithm that they have provided. And so at this point, you will have that immediate feedback to know where those potential mismatches are. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I think this may be the last one. Nope, yep, here we go, last one. So very last step is being able to review the full picture. And that is accessing your participant dashboard report. And here you will have multiple filters to be able to generate the report. So again, you could go in and put in a predefined date range or enter in a desired surgery date range. And then select the different procedures, the age groups that you're looking for, and then whether or not you want to only focus on your index cases or index operations or all operations. And within this dashboard, it will then give you a breakdown of the different areas. And then of course, the highest questions that we usually receive are around operation types. How do I get the information related there and accounts, the mortality status at hospital discharge, where do I find that? All of that information is available within the dashboard. And again, this gives you, by the surgery date range that's entered, it gives you those counts and percentages that you're looking for. So I will go ahead and go to the next slide. I think this may be the last one. I think it is. Yeah. So
Yep.
Back over to you, Leanne.
Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate it. These last few slides are, standard slides that you all have seen throughout all of these user group calls. Just one thing to call out in regards to the support plan. Just please remember when you are contacting IQVIA support as well as STS, please be sure to include your participant ID in any and all communications. That helps us answer the questions a lot quicker. It also helps IQVIA if you're associated with more than one participant ID, helps them identify to which site you are inquiring about. So please be sure to include your participant ID in all communications with IQVIA as well as STS. It just helps us out tremendously. Our next, of course, these are a list of resources that are available to you all within the STS National Database webpage, as well as STS tech support information, our phone support number for IQVIA tech support, STS National Database feedback form. Please use this form to provide feedback to us. We'd love to hear from you, good, bad, things, ideas for improvement. Again, please be sure to use that feedback form to let us know your thoughts. And of course, these are the resource documents that are also available within the STS website. Here is my contact information. Again, I encourage you all, please feel free to contact me directly. You have my email as well as my direct phone. If I'm not able to answer, I will call you back. Please leave a voicemail and also, again, email anytime. If you have any database operational questions, if you have questions regarding direct data entry, if you have questions regarding your participation agreement, if you have questions regarding updating contacts for your site or who current contacts for your site are, or any questions in general, if you're not sure to contact, you can contact us at these two via my email or via stsdb@sts.org, and we will get the answer to your questions. If we're not appropriate person to answer your questions, we will definitely get you in contact with the appropriate staff. That's all that I have for today's user group call. Next, we're going to turn things over to you all for your Q&A for open discussion. Please be sure to put your questions into the Q&A. We'll answer as many questions as we can. And again, just a reminder, this is your opportunity to get some questions answered with both STS and IQVIA on the line. So we do encourage your questions. Also, if you have already submitted your question to support, please be sure to include your ticket number. It should be an RITM number, and that way that would help Jean and her team look up your support ticket while we are on the line. So we do have some questions, so I'm going to go ahead and get started if everyone's ready. Our first question, when will this PowerPoint slides be available for download and where? So these slides will be available after this call today. I will get the slides PDFs, and then I need to send things over to our marketing team, and they will get the recording cleaned up and curated and ready for posting. So this information is generally posted within 24 to 48 hours after this call. So fingers crossed you should be able to have things, everything will be posted out on the STS website, hopefully by Thursday. If you need immediate access to these slides, I do have them available, and I can email them to you if you'd like.
And Leanne, this is Jeanette. Just to confirm, the harvest checklist section that Melanie presented, that is already posted in the library section of the platform. So when you log in, if you look in that gray bar on the left with the navigation options and select the library option, the harvest closed checklist is already posted there with the updated content shown today. Thank you, Jeanette. Our next, well, I just saw a question from Carrie. She wanted to know where on the, I think on the STS website would the slides and everything be posted. So if you go out onto the STS National webpage, click on Registries, STS National Database, and, oops, sorry, I apologize, STS National Database. And if you scroll down to live webinars, then you can click on our View Webinars page. And then here we have all of our webinars listed. So for here, just click on past CHSD webinars, and then this week's webinar will be posted here, and you could download the PDFs or the recordings. And again, today's call will be posted here within the STS webpage. All right. So hopefully that answered your question, Carrie. All right, our next question, this is for our IQVIA team. On the CHSD dashboard, is there a way to filter out mortalities by op type? If not, is it available in the platform elsewhere? For example, in the previous DQR, we were provided a list of our 30-day mortalities and discharge mortalities.
This is Melanie. I'm thinking, iterating through my brain at the moment. So filter out mortalities by op type. So I probably can just take a look. I want to say that once you select the, is there a procedure that is listed? Op type 1 and 2. Let me check, Kelly, and just give me a few. Let me just double check before. I'm going off of the top of my head. So I'm going to pull it up and see if I can just confirm for you.
Okay. And let me know if you need to share screen at any time. I'll just let me know and I can stop share.
Okay.
Okay, Kelly, we'll get back to that question. Our next question, will we get an email when the AQO recordings are available and where to access them? So I'm assuming, Carol, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but would marketing be sending an email announcement when all of the recordings are uploaded within the platform? Okay.
Hi, Leanne, this is Carol. Yeah, so I just got off the phone with Emily Conrad, and she said that all of the recordings are available on the Cadmium platform as of just a couple hours ago, so they should be up there now.
Oh, that's awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
I agree. It was so fast. I wasn't expecting it that fast, but they're there.
Yeah. Yep. So, and just to clarify, Kelly, you would use the same link to, you would go out to the exact same location, the exact same link that you used to access AQO last week. So that link will be active for the next year, and all the information is found out in the Cadmium platform, our AQO platform that you all used last week to attend the AQO. And also, and if you don't have that link, I'm going to pull up the STS webpage again, so bear with me, guys. So if you don't have that link, if you go to the STS National Database webpage and you scroll down, and if you go under Important Resources, and if you click on Advances in Quality and Outcomes, a Data Managers Meeting, there is a link here to visit the event platform. So if you click on that, that will take you to the platform, and then you can sign in, you can have access to all of the sessions for each day, or for which you had registered for. So that is available. All right. Let's see here. So that is awesome that all of that is out there now. So from Harish, when do we anticipate the new STS version specification to be released? Go live January 2022. So our goal is to get the specifications to vendors 6 months ahead of time. I don't have the date. Okay, so if we go live, so it would be July of 2021. Sorry, it's been a long day. So we would have those, right, Carol, by the end of July?
Yeah,
for vendors.
That's the goal. Yep. July 2021.
That's the goal.
And we have surgeon leader buy-in on that date, so likely that we'll hit it this time. Hopefully, likely.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Carol, we've established a strict timeline. So, like we said, we had our first call last night, and we've got a great plan. So, and our surgeon leaders bought into the plan. So, we're going to do our best to keep them on task and keep trudging through. So, our next questions is not related to IQVIA, but where can we download, print our current STS participant contacts so that we can review and update by the end of October? So you're correct, Kelly. Within, you were used to able to download your current contacts and print through the CCRI platform. STS just finished an upgrade of our internal database contact platform. So is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carol or Donna, I'm not sure, and Jane's not on the call, but will participants have that ability? They'll have that ability through IQVIA, correct? Once we connect.
Yeah, that's correct.
IQVIA, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. This is Carol. It'll be available on the IQVIA platform, but if you're looking for it now, you could reach out to Addie Dolan or the STSD at sts.org.
Yep. And again, so for a list of your current contacts, again, please reach out to Addie Dolan, and her email is adolan, DOLAN, at sts.org, or you can reach out to us at stsdb@sts.org. All right. And I don't have any additional questions. We're back to Kelly's question, Mel, regarding the 30-day, the list of mortalities and discharge mortalities. I don't know if you were ready.
Not by, yeah, but it would be an enhancement. So we do have, of course, the list of the different op types and the drill downs that are available by op type. But then we would need to go to another section in the report to then look at the discharge mortality. So it's not filtering by op type. You could get each separately at the moment, but it doesn't give you basically no filtering on op type at the moment.
Okay.
So Leanne,
and that might be something we could look at too for a future.
Right. We would need to just understand to make sure in regards to those requirements for that. But yeah, but it's two separate. Right now, it's two separate lists.
Okay. Thanks, Melanie. Our next question, we had a patient pass away at 23:05 and was discharged to the hospital morgue 2 hours later at 0100. So the mortality date and discharge date were different. When I upload this data, it was flagged as a critical error. Mortality date cannot be less than discharge date. Why is this?
Oh, so I can answer this one. And I think Chastity can probably chime in too. This is Carol, but the mortality date, if you're going to code the time of death as the mortality date and time, that needs to match your discharge date and time. So they have to coincide. They have to be the same.
That's very good. Yep.
Yes.
Chastity, do you have anything to add, Chastity?
No, I absolutely agree.
Great. So there you go, Mary. Let's see here. I don't have any additional questions. So I don't know if anyone had anything else they wanted to add while we wait to see if there are additional questions coming in. Here we have a question from Autumn. Is there any way to make the windows larger in IQVIA to view the data? They're very small and frustrating. It seems like there's a lot of empty space at the top that can be utilized. I don't know if someone from our IQVIA team could address.
This is Jeanette from the IQVIA team. That is a great feedback point, and we will take that back and look at some options to make adjustments.
Thank you, Autumn. You're very welcome. All right. Let's see here. I don't have anything, still no additional questions coming in. Again, I didn't know if anyone from STS or IQVIA had any additional points they wanted to bring up or address while we were on the call. Let's see. I do hope that everyone did enjoy AQO this year. I must say our meetings team and our marketing team did an amazing job handling our very first virtual AQO, so I hope you all did enjoy it, and we are glad that you all, so many people were able to attend this year. It was really amazing. It was really cool. So we hope you guys did enjoy that. Let's see. I'm not seeing any additional questions come in. Again, just wanted to remind everyone this is your opportunity to get your questions answered. So we do encourage you to ask them if you do have them. So if we can answer them, we sure will. Going once, going twice. I don't know, Carol, Donna, Melanie, anyone? Do you guys have anything you wanted to add? I want to be respectful of everyone's time, so I don't want to keep everyone on the line here if we don't have any additional questions come in.
I don't. Chastity, do you have anything is there anything we can clarify from AQO or anything that any talking points we want to go over again from AQO?
I think just So the data managers know that we have some discussions to have amongst the core group, things like regarding the interrupted aortic arch plus VSD repairs, as well as clarifying a few definition discrepancies that came up. So know that the core group will absolutely address these at our upcoming calls. And also then with the upgrade, more definition clarification will occur.
Great. Excellent. Yeah, and I think our core group call is next week, I believe. So we'll be looking into that and discussing those next week. So thank you, Chastity. And then Melanie, I think Dawn said she had not received a beta testing email as of yet. So I think those are coming.
Yes, they're coming, but there was a notice, I believe, that Jane sent. So Dawn, but it's on the way.
Excellent. All right, I had a thought in my head and it completely disappeared. So I was going to mention something, but now I can't remember what it was. So I apologize. You're welcome, Dawn. Thank you very much. And also just a reminder, here we go, Chastity. To clarify for complications from AQO, if a patient is readmitted within 30 days of a non-index case, should that be listed as a complication since the index case was greater than 30 days?
If the patient is readmitted within 30 days, yes, it would go on, well, of a non-index case. If you put it on the non-index case, it will get put on the index case. Let's take that to the core group. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, thank you, Ren. And we will discuss that.
Occur within 30 days of a non-index case, it would still count. There's an odd trail there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll add this to our list for next week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you, Ren, and we will clarify that. So thank you very much. All right. That is all that I had. I don't see any additional questions coming in, but again, I just want to be respectful of everyone's time. So thank you, IQVIA. Just before we get leave for today, just a reminder, our next calls, our user group call is scheduled for October 20th at 12 p.m. Central. And then we actually have our monthly webinar following the next day, October 21st at 12 p.m. Central. If you all have any education points that you would like for us to cover, maybe on the monthly webinar, please feel free to email those to me so we can include an educational topic from the monthly webinar this month. And if that's it, again, I'm not seeing any additional questions. I just wanted to thank you all very much for your time today. Thank you for joining. Thank you to my IQVIA team members and my STS staff and our core group members. Thank you guys for joining today. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you all on October 20th for our next user group call. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Leanne. Have a great day. Thanks, Chastity, for being on, and thank you, IQVIA team.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Beth. I see your comment. Thank you very much.